What are the limits of an ordinary intelligence agency? Perhaps secret offices agents lurking in the shadows and fleeting exchanges of information. But for Mossad, those limits are merely a starting point. This is not just an intelligence agency, it is a living entity, a machine designed to hunt and punish. You can picture Mossad as a great white shark in the ocean of intelligence. It doesn't just swim in the dark, it has the power to tear through any defense, penetrate deep into enemy territory, and deliver a decisive strike. Their style is a perfect blend of audacity and sophistication. They can wait for decades patient as a cobra coiled in the underbrush, only to strike with lethal precision at the perfect moment. Once a target is in their sights, no place in the world is safe. From the bustling streets of Dubai to the sun-scorched deserts of Syria to the far-flung lands of Iran, Mossad is always watching, always patient, always waiting. They don't merely operate, they are masters of the art of persuasion. By rigging seemingly harmless electronic devices, they turn them into deadly weapons. A phone, a walkie-talkie, or even a pager, all can become secret instruments of destruction. These are not fictional tales from a James Bond movie, but stark reality. To Mossad, the world is a grand stage. They are the directors, the producers, and the starring actors. Each operation is meticulously scripted, from tracking the target and studying their habits to choosing the perfect moment to strike. Everything is calculated to the smallest detail with no room for error. The message Mossad sends is not a threat, but a cold declaration. We are always watching. No one is out of reach. For Mossad, the past is not something to forget, but a driving force for retribution. Terrorists, enemies of Israel, those who have attacked Jews, they will never escape Mossad's gaze. Mossad is a symbol of determination, resilience, and an unyielding and iron will. Are you fascinated by thrilling espionage stories? Subscribe to the channel now to uncover the high-stakes secrets of Mossad and more. The assassination of Imad Mughniyeh, a 30-year hunt for a ghost. Some targets are so formidable that their names alone send chills through the global intelligence community. Imad Mughniyeh was one such figure. Known as the Ghost, he was a senior Hezbollah leader, orchestrating countless bloody terrorist attacks. Mughniyeh was responsible for the deaths of hundreds, including 241 U.S. Marines in the 1983 Beirut barracks bombing. His crimes spanned the globe from airplane hijackings to attacks on Israelis and Jews across every continent. For over 2 decades, no intelligence agency, not even the best, could catch him. Mughniyeh's elusiveness was legendary. He lived in hiding, almost invisible. For over 20 years, only a single blurry photograph of him from the 1980s existed. Even at his brother's funeral, his brother, another Hezbollah operative killed by Mossad to lure him out, Mughniyeh did not appear. He was truly a ghost, a figure existing in the underworld without leaving a trace. For Mossad, hunting Imad Mughniyeh was not just a mission, it was a vow. The pursuit began when he started his reign of terror, but it wasn't until 2004 that a critical breakthrough occurred. In a Hezbollah propaganda video, Mughniyeh appeared fleetingly for just a few seconds. It was the first clear sighting of him in years. Mossad immediately pinpointed his location in Lebanon. However, Lebanon was too dangerous for action. The intelligence war entered a new phase requiring greater patience and sophistication. Mossad executed one of its boldest hacking operations, infiltrating Iran's intelligence system and uncovering a bombshell, Imad Mughniyeh was living in Damascus, Syria, under a false identity. Damascus, the capital of a hostile nation, was crawling with Iranian and Syrian intelligence operatives. Operating there was a dangerous gamble. Mossad knew they couldn't act alone. They turned to their most trusted partner, the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. The relationship between the two agencies was built on trust and shared goals. Mossad proposed a deal. They would take full responsibility for the assassination, but needed CIA assistance in tracking the target. The only condition was that only Mughniyeh could be targeted with no collateral damage. The joint operation began. The CIA provided intelligence, enabling Mossad to track the ghost's every move. Mossad agents patiently stalked him, studying his habits. They soon discovered an unexpected weakness. Mughniyeh frequently traveled alone to meet women provided by Syrian intelligence. This was a fatal flaw in his otherwise impenetrable armor. On a February night in 2008, Mossad made their move. A team of elite operatives approached Mughniyeh's car. They didn't place the bomb under the chassis or in the driver's seat as seen in movies. Instead, they installed a sophisticated explosive device in the spare tire cover. The device was designed to produce a small but lethal explosion, eliminating the target when he was nearby. Days later, Mughniyeh left his Damascus safe house. He was alone, approaching his familiar car. As he opened the door, a Mossad agent pressed the trigger. A small explosion rang out, powerful enough to end the life of one of the world's most dangerous terrorists. After 30 years of evasion, the ghost was gone. This operation was not just a triumph of intelligence, but a resounding statement from Mossad: no enemy can escape their justice. The assassination of Mahmoud Al-Mabhouh, a victory tainted by failure. Mossad doesn't always operate like flawless phantoms. Sometimes, even when the target is eliminated, the mission is deemed a failure. The assassination of Mahmoud Al-Mabhouh in Dubai is a prime example of a victory tainted by failure. Al-Mabhouh, a senior Hamas member, was implicated in the kidnapping and murder of 2 Israeli soldiers in the 1980s. More critically, he was a key figure in smuggling weapons from Iran into Gaza, supplying Hamas with the means to attack Israel. Dubai, with its rapid development and reputation as a global tourism hub, was a frequent destination for Al-Mabhouh. He traveled there under the guise of a tourist, enjoying a lavish lifestyle. This made Dubai an attractive target for Mossad, as it allowed their agents to blend into the crowd. However, Dubai was also a modern city equipped with cutting-edge security, particularly its extensive network of surveillance cameras, a detail Mossad disastrously underestimated. Mossad's first attempt to assassinate Al-Mabhouh in 2009 failed. They used a poison, but it only made him ill. Though Al-Mabhouh survived and didn't suspect the source of the attack, Mossad was undeterred. They planned a second, more meticulous operation. This time, a massive hit squad of about 26 agents was deployed. They entered Dubai from various countries using forged or stolen identities from European nations like the UK, Ireland, France, and Germany. They split into small teams, staying at different hotels to avoid suspicion. The plan was to kill Al-Mabhouh discreetly, making his death appear as a natural heart attack. On January 19, 2010, the hit squad executed the plan. They broke into Al-Mabhouh's hotel room, administered a fast-acting poison, and left silently. When his body was discovered, his death was initially ruled a heart attack. The mission succeeded. The target was eliminated. But this was when things unraveled. Hamas quickly found the body and suspected an assassination. They demanded a full investigation from Dubai authorities. And here, Mossad's fatal mistakes came to light. First, the agents used forged passports based on real identities. When the investigation began, the affected countries protested vehemently, sparking a severe diplomatic crisis. Second, and most critically, Mossad underestimated Dubai's vast surveillance camera network. Dubai police used this system to track the agents' every move from their arrival at the airport to their taxi rides and hotel hallway meetings. Every moment was captured in detail. Third, some agents paid with credit cards linked to an Israel-based company, leaving an undeniable trail. Their communications were routed through a switchboard in Austria, making them easily traceable. The result was a 27-minute video released by Dubai authorities, reconstructing the hit squad's movements down to the second. The agents' identities were exposed, and Mossad's tactics were laid bare to the world. Despite eliminating the target, the operation was a strategic failure. It damaged Mossad's reputation, strained relations with allies, and exposed their covert methods. It was a costly lesson in the difference between achieving a goal and doing so discreetly. Want to know how Mossad takes down untouchable targets? Subscribe to the channel for gripping stories. The assassination of Ismail Haniyeh, seizing an unexpected opportunity. In the world of intelligence, the greatest opportunities sometimes arise from unforeseen events. For Mossad, that opportunity was Ismail Haniyeh, Hamas's top leader, and it came after the sudden death of Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi. Ismail Haniyeh was no easy target. He lived a lavish life worth billions of dollars in Qatar. Qatar wasn't just his hideout. It was a safe haven protected by an unspoken agreement with the United States. Israel couldn't act there without risking a major diplomatic crisis that could unravel complex regional relationships. Haniyeh knew this and felt untouchable. He was a mastermind behind the brutal October 7, 2023 attack that killed and kidnapped thousands of Israelis. Eliminating him was a top priority, but Mossad had to wait for the perfect moment. That moment arrived. On May 19, 2024, Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi died in a mysterious helicopter crash. His death not only shook Iran's political landscape, but opened a window Mossad couldn't ignore. Hamas leaders, including Haniyeh, traveled to Tehran for the funeral and the inauguration of Iran's new president. This rare event took Haniyeh out of his safe zone in Qatar and placed him within Mossad's reach. In Tehran, Haniyeh stayed at a guest house of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, a heavily guarded facility. But Mossad was prepared. While Haniyeh was still in Qatar, their agents had acted. They planted a sophisticated explosive device in the room Haniyeh would occupy. The device was expertly concealed to evade the IRGC's security sweeps and could only be activated remotely by Mossad. The plan seemed flawless, but it nearly failed. On July 31, 2024, Haniyeh left his room, and the Mossad team prepared to detonate the device. But then the room's air conditioning malfunctioned, and Haniyeh returned to retrieve documents. That moment saved his life. Mossad postponed the operation, waiting for another chance. Fortunately, soon after, Haniyeh stepped out again and entered the bathroom. This was the perfect opportunity. The Mossad team triggered the device. A small but powerful explosion rocked the room, eliminating the target. The operation was executed flawlessly with no collateral damage. Haniyeh was dead-ending the life of a key terrorist leader. The event sent shockwaves through the region. Iran and its allies immediately blamed Israel and the US. However, Mossad left no evidence. Iranian investigators couldn't pinpoint the cause of the explosion and were forced to call it a technical error. This demonstrated Mossad's exceptional skill in executing covert and effective operations. Mughniyeh's death was a major blow to Hamas. He was the link connecting Hamas to other terrorist organizations and global sponsors. His elimination disrupted Hamas's communication lines, sowing panic and disarray within the group. Though the war against Hamas continued, the assassination of Mughniyeh sent a clear message: no enemy of Israel is safe, no matter how secure they feel. The operation against Hezbollah with explosive devices, a battle of wits. If previous operations were direct punches, the campaign against Hezbollah was a devastating blow executed with masterful patience and creativity. This was a hallmark of Mossad. Instead of hunting, they set a massive trap and waited for the prey to walk in. The operation targeted not just one individual, but Hezbollah's entire network, paralyzing it from within. In 2014, Mossad devised an unprecedented attack. They established a web of shell companies worldwide to produce and sell communication devices rigged with sophisticated explosives to Hezbollah. The first phase targeted walkie-talkies. Mossad replicated a popular Japanese walkie-talkie design, secretly embedding small amounts of explosives. They produced and distributed 16,000 units through their network of fake companies. Hezbollah, trusting the new supplier, purchased and equipped their fighters with these devices. Everything was set, but Mossad didn't act immediately. They let the walkie-talkies lie dormant for a decade, like Cold War sleeper agents waiting for the perfect moment. But that was just the beginning. A female Mossad agent proposed a brilliant idea: target Hezbollah's pagers. The reasoning was simple yet effective. Hezbollah operatives used pagers instead of mobile phones because they couldn't be hacked or intercepted. They were a nearly foolproof communication method. By exploiting this vulnerability, Mossad could deliver a crippling blow to the enemy's communication system. To execute the plan, Mossad created another shell company in Budapest, Hungary. They purchased a license from Gold Apollo, a Taiwanese company specializing in pagers. Mossad redesigned the pagers, embedding a special explosive device. These were crafted to injure only the holder, avoiding widespread damage. The goal was to maximize damage to Hezbollah's commanders and fighters, not infrastructure. To lure Hezbollah into buying, Mossad employed a clever psychological tactic. They spread disinformation on social media, claiming Israel had developed technology to hack and track Hezbollah's mobile phones. This caused panic, prompting Hezbollah to switch to pagers for security. Mossad further enticed them by offering the first batch of pagers for free and steep discounts for bulk purchases. The plan worked perfectly. Hezbollah bought thousands of pagers from Mossad's shell company, distributing them across all ranks from top commanders to regular fighters. In September 2024, after years of patient waiting, Mossad received the signal they needed. Hezbollah grew suspicious of the device's origins. Knowing time was running out, Mossad acted. They triggered thousands of pagers simultaneously. Hundreds, if not thousands, of small but deadly explosions erupted across Lebanon. Hezbollah commanders and fighters were gravely injured or killed, and chaos swept through their ranks. Days later, Mossad delivered another devastating blow. They activated the walkie-talkies rigged with explosives a decade earlier. More explosions rocked Lebanon, crippling Hezbollah's communication network. The organization was left in disarray, unable to coordinate or command. The operation was a resounding success. It created a massive security gap, allowing Mossad to target key figures, including Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah. The campaign not only inflicted heavy casualties, but shattered Hezbollah's communication infrastructure, paralyzing their operations. It was a testament to Mossad's mastery of not just assassination, but using patience and creativity to defeat enemies from within. Conclusion: Lessons from Mossad. Reflecting on Mossad's landmark operations paints a vivid picture of this intelligence agency's unique approach. Mossad is not just an intelligence organization, but a symbol of determination, creativity, and unyielding resolve. They have redefined the concept of silent warfare, proving that intellect and patience can be the most destructive weapons. The first and most critical lesson from Mossad is patience. In a world where everything moves quickly, Mossad is willing to wait. They spent 30 years hunting Imad Mughniyeh and a decade waiting for rigged walkie-talkies to be activated. This patience is not mere waiting, but the accumulation of intelligence, meticulous planning, and striking at the golden moment. For Mossad, time is not an enemy, but a valuable ally. They understand that a single strike at the right moment is worth more than 1,000 at the wrong time. The second lesson is creativity and adaptability. Mossad never repeats itself. They constantly seek new ways to attack enemies. When Mughniyeh seemed untouchable, Mossad collaborated with the CIA and exploited an unexpected weakness. When a target was in an untouchable safe zone like Qatar, Mossad seized an unforeseen opportunity. In the Hezbollah operation, they turned the enemy's communication devices into weapons. This creativity shows Mossad doesn't just react to threats, but proactively creates opportunities to strike. However, Mossad is not infallible. The Al-Mabhouh operation in Dubai was a costly lesson in caution. Though the target was eliminated, leaving too many traces severely damaged Mossad's reputation, strained diplomatic ties, and exposed their tactics. Mossad learned this lesson painfully and applied it to later operations like the Mughniyeh assassination, where they left no evidence. This demonstrates Mossad's professionalism not only in executing missions, but in learning and improving from mistakes. Finally, these operations send a powerful and clear message. For Mossad, no enemy is safe no matter where they hide. Each mission is a reminder that Israel will never forget those who harm its people. Mossad is a tool for delivering Israel's brand of justice, cold, efficient, and uncompromising. It embodies the iron will of a nation ready to do whatever it takes to protect itself and its citizens. These operations are not just thrilling espionage tales, but vivid testaments to Mossad's unique approach. They are not merely an intelligence agency, but a force shaped by history, driven by purpose, and guided by a singular philosophy: by way of deception, thou shalt do war. And with what they've shown, they do it exceptionally well. Don't miss out on high-stakes espionage operations. Subscribe now to uncover the behind-the-scenes secrets of Mossad.